Ladies and gentlemen, cats and kittens, boys and girls, I'm Carbonor. Welcome to my channel. I hope all is warm and well in your world today. Things are pretty cool here. I have to start out apologizing for no Fortnite last night. If you saw Fall Guys or were watching the morning daily thingy yesterday, I mentioned that I was having a dinner with the family last night. Usually I do it on Saturday, but they wanted to eat on Friday. My mom and my sister. So I was like, okay, that's fine, because they've been really good about understanding that I stream on Fridays for a very long time. So I was like, okay, you know what, I'll acquiesce, and we'll do it on Friday this time. And my sister broke out a bottle of my favorite wine from back when I was the night shift manager of a hoity-toity wine bar, and I drank a little too much. And after Fall Guys, I was like, I don't know if I can do an hour and a half of Fortnite. And it turns out I couldn't. So I apologize. I think what I'm going to do is I might make up for it after the morning daily thingy today. I might just go ahead and do a quick little Fortnite stream just for shits and giggles. Now, where did this fucking picture go? There it is. There it is. I had the thumbnail already finished today, so we just have to apply it. We just have to apply it. That's a pretty good one. This one, Viessa sporting her new bikini. Oh my God, excuse me. Okay. We're all set. Let me make sure here. Yep, it's there. Excellent. 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 Oh my goodness, I just noticed we got another new subscriber. Holy shit. We're up to 451, everybody. 451 subscribers. We are now just 49 away from 500. Oh my God. Thank you, whoever that was. Of course, YouTube did not tell me who it was, because YouTube is oh so wonderful about letting people know new subscribers have joined. They're so fantastic about that. That algorithm is just spot on. Spot on. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So good. So good is that algorithm. All right, so we got the thumbnail up. I heard some rain hitting outside, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna turn this fan a little bit more in my direction. I hope I don't get in the jet stream, because you know how that bothers me hearing it in my headphones. Hell yeah, 49. That's crazy. Thank you so much, whoever that was. If you're watching this as a video later, thank you for giving me that chance. We're jumping in. Here we go. Was I doing any grinding since yesterday? I'm trying to think. I don't think I did. Oh, that's kind of cool. Interesting. Adding that hair to her bikini. Interesting. Interesting. I tried her bikini out nails by using, you know, the color scheme, the palette that I have for her. The pale rose gold and the alternative white. And it just didn't look good. So I was like, nah. So it seems like Viessa's is going to be the only one that I buy. Just because it's Viessa's. Digital Bath. That's what that person's name was. Digital Bath.
What do you want me to do? Hack something?
Just, I don't.
Wiretap?
Yeah,
Check data?
Just be quiet. Is what I want you to do. Just stop talking. Is there anything that we need here? I do not believe so. What are you? I do need some last daggers. Isn't that, I'm pretty sure, like one of the last ones I need? Let me check. Let me check. Well, fucking shit. Maybe not. I'm not sure which ones I need now, to be honest with you. I think it's 3. I think 3 of them I need to complete the unique ability thingamajiggy. Where's the last dagger? Is that you? Yeah. Yeah. Why? You need to not be over here. You need to be back in the inventory because you're not finished yet. That was a mistake on my part. So let's see. Did I do that with any of the others? Or was that the? Yep. We need the E-Buster back over there, and we'll keep those over there until we get all its unique abilities done. Oh shit, a brick. You know what I forgot to do? I needed, Serp had, replied to a couple of comments that I meant to fucking reply to myself, but I got distracted with the festivities with dinner. So let me take care of that now. One second. Okay, there we go. There we go. Because I try to, I try to respond to every comment that I get, and that one just got away from me due to the, you know, the events of the day. But taken care of. Why is Eckert still fucking goddamn? Why are you still flashing, Eckert? What the fuck? What do you want, man? What the fuck, dude?
I'll find out everything for you.
There. Are you happy now? Have I played your game, Eckert? Are you happy? Well, I'm fucking glad. Wonder how long till they make him a descendant. The Mad Cracker. Private Bambi. I think I've seen that movie. The Nut Devil.
Magisters
Interesting
are
name.
humanity's real home.
Oh,
Don't you think?
doubling up. Let's go ahead. How many do I have of those? We got 59 and 34. We're staying up there on the catalyst, and I'm beginning to have a rather large stockpile of energy activators. Do I need this Hive Master piece? I mean, I guess I could go ahead and do it. Just to have it done. You know what I'm saying? Just to have it done. Let's check our inventory and see if we have any amorphous materials to fix. It would seem no. Nope. Nothing that we need here. Oh, well. Alright. Okay. Let's check the battle pass. Kinda looked at it, but not really. Dimension active skills. Okay, I believe Blair will take care of that. I believe. How much longer we have on you guys? Before you reset? It's a full week, right? Have I already, is that what is it? I'm thinking. Where is it? Yeah. I believe so. I just happened to beat it very quickly this time around. That happens sometimes, you know. I'm going to go ahead and get another one of these. And then the next one, that'll put me at, I think, 3, 4 of these, maybe. I don't know. Let's look. Let's look. Let's find out. Let's find out for sure. Yes, it does. So we got 4 guns, and and I'm gonna get another XP, and that'll be 6 of those. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm not upset with that. Okay. Check the mail. What is that one? Yeah, see, that's the Inez. See what I'm saying about the Inez? That, I mean, yeah, that's a swimsuit, but look at the way it's designed. It's all futuristic. It's all techy. There's a little Blade Runner in there. You know what I'm saying? The shoes work well with the outfit. They look like there's something more going on than just slipping some goddamn flip-flops on. And it's the same case with the Sharon. You know, they look good. They don't just look like standard, you know, modern day bikinis. A standard, you know, current day beachwear. Because you got to remember, this is not just, you know, it's not just about putting fucking chicks in bikinis. You got to remember, this is the fucking future. This is sci-fi. You got to amp that up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got to give it a little something. I got all kinds of those. There's just not enough space for these. You see, the only thing that I'm really fucking slacking behind is those things, and there's just not enough space for them all. Not my fault. Don't blame me for the failed delivery. Don't blame me. Oh my God! Excuse me. And again. The wine that I drank. It's called, I don't know what company makes it, but it's called Sweet Justice. Sweet Justice. It's a white wine. It's a very fruity wine, and it's very carbonated. There's a lot of carbonation, like it's damn near champagne. You know what I'm saying? It's got that level of carbonation in it. And why I like it so much, see, I don't like typical wines. That was one of the problems that the owner of that wine bar had with me, was that I don't like wine, and certainly not red wine. It is so fucking dry. It is so fucking nasty. I don't understand how humanity existed for, thousands of years drinking nothing but goddamn wine. I don't understand it. It is horrible tasting. But I'm much more inclined to white wines, because white wines tend to be a little lighter. They tend to be a little more fruity. And this particular kind of Sweet Justice, it basically tastes like if you took Mellow Yellow and made it an alcoholic beverage, you would have Sweet Justice. That's why I was able to drink it. And I remember the day that we got it in to test, because that was, I was the nighttime shift manager, so I had that part of my job was to test the new wines that came in. We would have like 2 hours where, we would have these shitload of wines, and we would, I had to do the whole thing. The smelling, the sipping, the little shit that you fucking do. I had to do all that fucking stuff. And I know you're probably listening to me going, you worked in a hoity-toity high cuisine fucking wine bar. Yes, I fucking did. I don't know how the fuck I ended. COVID is what essentially wound me up there, because I had an old girlfriend who was still friends with my sister, who I was still kind of friendly with, who somehow had convinced this lady who owned this wine bar that she was a chef quality fucking cook, and they needed somebody else to work with them because of COVID, and I didn't have a job because at the time I was working at a Ruby Tuesday that was literally inside an airport. So I had a security pass. I had to go through every time I wanted to take a smoke break. I had to go through fucking metal detectors and shit like that. So it was pretty big deal. But of course it was in the airport. So when COVID happened, the whole goddamn airport shut down. And they couldn't promise, the restaurant had to shut down. And when they tried to reopen, because some things were reopening well before the COVID thing was over, right? They could not promise me the hours that I needed to survive, because I went in and made a deal. I went in and I told the manager, I was like, look, if you can't promise me enough hours, like 30 to 35 hours a week, if you can't promise me that, because that is just enough. If you're just going to give me just enough hours to where I can't qualify for the COVID checks, for not being unemployed, I was like, I'm not going to be able to work, dude. I'm just not going to be able to do it. I'm going to stay the fuck home and I'm going to collect my check. The manager was like, no. I can promise you the hours. And within the first check, I was like, this ain't going to work, dude. This is not going to work. I'm not going to make enough hours to survive actually working. So I'm going to have to go on unemployment and collect these COVID checks. I mean, that was just that I was left with no choice. I had to. I didn't want to. I wanted to work, but the world was stupid there for a while. So I ended up doing the COVID checks. Because I was just like, you know, he was only going to offer me like 20 hours, 20, maybe 25. And I couldn't pay my bills. I couldn't survive on that much money. There was no fucking way. So it was like, he left me no fucking choice. I was like, you promised me. And he couldn't do it. So I was like, yep, I guess I'm going to go, guess my job is going to be, collecting COVID checks for a while. But yeah, so when that all, you know, so when kind of things started clearing up, I needed a job, and they were like, hey, we need somebody here at this wine bar. And I was like, okay, fine. Because I don't care. I can cook anything, and I can make it look as nice as you want me to make it look. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It's all recipes. It's all, okay, just show me how to do it, and I can fucking do it. So, you know, I never, but as far as they kept trying to get me to, like, you know, plan dishes and do stuff like that, and I was like, I can't do that. I cannot taste something and say, oh, this would go well with this. Oh, this pairs nicely with this wine over here. I don't have that kind of a taste bud. Like, my food tastes are extremely simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about, like, grilled cheese and fucking a can of chicken noodle soup, and I'm good to go. You know, very, very simple is my food palate. I do not like complicated shit, and I don't like stuff that's like, you know, like they would taste, like she would taste test stuff and be like, oh, that's like, you know, you have a pea puree or something and be like, oh, that tastes so much like peas. Don't you like that? And I'd be like, no, because I don't like the taste of peas. So it doesn't matter how much this tastes like exactly like peas. If you don't like peas, you're not going to like it, you know? And it was that way with so many things. It was like, no, I don't like this. So it doesn't matter what you do to it. I don't like the taste of it. And that there was often contention with the manager because of that fact, because I'd be like, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can, like, whatever you want me to cook, you show me how to cook it, and I will make it exactly that way every time. I will make sure it is cooked appropriately. I will make sure it is cooked properly, but I'm not going to eat it. I have no interest in eating it.
Enemy troops are being transferred in large numbers. You must attack their point of origin.
So it was an interesting job that I did not enjoy. Basically the owner of that place, what she wanted to do was she wanted to hire in like $15 an hour line cooks and treat them like they were fully qualified, you know, graduates from a culinary school, like certified chefs. And the girl who got me hired loved it. Loved the idea that she was a fucking chef. And I was like, you're not a fucking chef. You know that, right? You have not gone to school. You're the owner of the restaurant has called you a chef. That does not make you a chef. I'm sorry, that's not the way it rolls.
I am the original.
There's a whole lot. It's like being a doctor. Being a chef is like being a doctor. You have to specifically go to school to be a chef. You cannot just decide one day, I'm a chef. No, you're not. You're a cook. You're a cook until you get that fucking degree that says, I went to this culinary school and I graduated. Then you're a chef. But until then, you're just a glorified cook. But yeah, she loved it. She fucking loved it. And they tried so hard. They were trying so hard to turn me into something that I didn't want to fucking be. I can cook well. And that's how I've made my money for the majority of my professional career. My working career has been as a cook. But that doesn't mean that I want my life to revolve around food. That doesn't mean when I'm off work, I'm going to be thinking, "Oh, look how fresh these carrots are. What can I make at my job for these?" I'm not going to do that. My life is not going to revolve around food in that manner, you know? And they tried so hard to turn me into some kind of fucking chef, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. We would have special dinners that my part of the special dinners was making the desserts, so I had to make all kinds of, like, once a month I had to, make these fucking
This is
100
code
goddamn
action to all
desserts for all
personnel.
these fucking people to
Void
come in
status
for this
intensified.
special,
Conditions are unfavorable. Proceed with
fancy
caution.
fucking
Over.
private dinners.
Descendant. Enemy troops are being transferred
I never got
in
any
large
complaints.
numbers.
People always loved my
You must
shit. That's
attack
because
their
I
point
can
of
cook.
origin.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can cook. But I was just like, I don't want to do this. I want to go to work, do my job, go home, and not think about my fucking job until the next day when I fucking wake up. That's the way I want to treat my job. I don't want to be thinking about shit after hours. I don't want to be thinking about inventory after hours. I don't want to be thinking about how can we use this product for this other purpose so we don't waste it, kind of thing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Once my shift is over, I want to stop thinking about my job until the next shift. That's the way I am. So I resisted it at every possible way. I resisted what they were wanting to do with me because I saw through it. I saw through it really early on. I was like, you just want $15 an hour line cooks that you can treat like fucking chefs and then get pissed off when they're not fucking chefs. That's all she fucking wanted. And I was like, I'm wise to your game. You want to have chefs, but you don't want to fucking pay for them. Well, you get what you fucking pay for. And she would have her fucking friends, like, her fucking friends would come and they would fill up goddamn a quarter of the fucking restaurant, and they would be wanting special shit that we didn't have on our menu because they didn't like our menu. So we would have this product, and she would just all of a sudden come back there and say, I got two of my friends out here, they don't like anything. Can you whip them up something real quick? And I'd be like, no, I can't. No, I can't. I can't whip them up something really quick. Sorry. We had two fucking cooks, and when you're in such a small restaurant, which is what it was. It was a small restaurant, little 60 person maybe at the most seating. You have to, and when you're making everything fresh, and you're trying to stay, high quality produce and shit like that, and high quality meats and stuff, you have to be very careful with your budget. So you can't just be like whipping shit out all of a sudden.
I am the original.
And she couldn't understand that. We would have pars for stuff, and when we would run out of the pars, she would be like, well, we need to make more. And we'd be like, okay, if I make more lasagna dough right now, number one, I don't have time because it's the middle of the rush, and there's two of us back here. Neither one of us has the time to spend a fucking hour whipping up some more goddamn lasagna dough. On top of that, it's now going, it's going to fuck up our pars for the next day. And neither her nor my ex-girlfriend who got me hired there could understand that logistic of it. So they would get mad at me all the time when I would be like, we're just 86 that. I'm sorry, we're just fucking 86 it. We don't have goddamn time to make more goddamn lasagnas. So it was stressful, but it was unnecessarily stressful because you had somebody who didn't understand anything about cooking. She had gone to, quote unquote, a fucking, took some chef classes. but she didn't know shit about actual restaurant working, actual she didn't know shit about it, but she thought she did. And me being a line cook of 20 years at the time, I was acutely aware of of how things work. Acutely aware. And that just because you're the manager and you want something to happen doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know, just I don't care if you're the owner or not. And that's the first time I was ever, first and only time I was ever a manager of any restaurant. The first and only time I ever had any actual, on paper authority of any restaurant. Now there's been many restaurants like five. I have 7 years altogether with the Hooters company. 2 years in one location and 5 years in another location. Several years later. And in both of those places, specifically the one that I worked 5 years at, kitchen. I didn't have a title. I didn't have, a raise to signify that I was in charge or anything like that, but I was in charge of the kitchen. If anybody had a problem in the kitchen, I was the one that they came to. When the managers needed to talk about something, need to be like, hey, we got this new person or whatever, I was the person that they talked to. And if any of the girls came to the kitchen and needed something, I was the person that they talked to. So I've had many situations like that, but never officially been in charge of anything until that place. And I was like, yeah, this is why I've avoided it. This is why I've avoided it all this fucking time, because it is just a fucking headache. But yes, so the Sweet Justice, it's such a fucking awesome wine, and I drank too much of it because I have a pretty high tolerance for smokables. Let's call it smokables. You know what I'm saying? For the green, as they call it, I have pretty high resistance to it, but not alcohol. Not alcohol. I have never had a strong resistance to alcohol. Alcohol fucks me up. It's probably my Indian blood. Probably. This thing's almost done. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that. I need 3 more. 3 more! 3 more! And I got my first fully catted gun. Hells yeah. Alright, let's play with somebody else for a little bit. Who should we go with here? We need dimension stuff, so let's go ahead. Let's bring Blair in. Because I'm pretty sure his shit's dimension, is it not? It is. It is. Excellent. Excellent. I mean, I do enjoy cooking. I do enjoy cooking. I enjoy making nice food for other people, But I don't know. When you do it long enough, when you do it professionally, you'll start to hate it, because it is a thankless job. Nobody gives a shit about you. They just want their chicken fingers or their fucking steak. They want it out as soon as fucking possible. They don't give a fuck what the pain of the restaurant is. They don't give a fuck how short-staffed the restaurant is. They don't care. They want the food. They want it right now. Right now. And they want it perfect every fucking time. You know, and part of it is that you're faceless. You're back there in a little fucking room. They don't see you. They don't know anything about you. And that's fine, you know. It's a thankless job. Because think about it, when you go to like a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, and you order your, you know, your Taco Bell or your fucking McDonald's or your whatever the fuck it might be, you don't care. You know what I'm saying? You don't care what's going on in that kitchen. You came, you ordered your food, and you expect it to be done the way it always is, regardless of what's happening in that kitchen. And sometimes shit's going on in the kitchen that prevents that from happening. You know, whether or not you've got a fully staffed fucking kitchen, or, you know, everybody's sick but 2 people, it doesn't matter. You still have to churn out the food in the same amount of time. And that's always been one of the things that pissed me off about it. It's like, if we are short fucking staff, we are not gonna hit these out times. You know, some shit's gonna take longer, and it's like, well, no, it's gotta be no. If you are half staffed down, the food is not going to come out as quickly as if you had fully fucking staffed kitchen. And that's one of the unfortunate things about restaurant life, is that it doesn't matter how short staffed you are. That food has to come, it still has to come out as quick as it did, as if you have, you know, not just each station fucking staff, but you got extra people and stuff. It's unrealistic. And largely the industry itself has done this to itself. I mean, in all honesty, the industry, because every restaurant that comes out, you know, is like, oh, well, this place does it, wants their food out in 14 minutes. Well, we're going to get ours out in 13. And then the next place comes along and says, well, that place is 13 minutes. We think we can get our stuff out in 12. And, you know, they create this environment where customers come in and literally think that they can ask for the fucking moon and the sun and get it in 10 minutes. Oh, I've got to be at this movie in 15 minutes. Can I get my well-done steak, you know, and my salad, and still make it to the movie? Well, of course you can, sir. No, you fucking can't. No, you fucking can't. No, you fucking can't. But the industry has created this environment that every customer is like royalty and is going to be treated like, you know, like a king, and you're going to get immaculate service and perfect food, and it's just so fucking unrealistic. It's so fucking unrealistic. If you go into a sit-down restaurant, expect to be there about an hour and a half. If you're not willing to spend an hour and a half, then go get McDonald's. Then go get fucking McDonald's. But I don't know. Ranting and raving about the fucking restaurant industry. It's working in a restaurant's not fun. It can be fun. You know, there's a certain amount of camaraderie. And of course there's an attitude. There's sort of, you know, cooking has sort of a, I don't know why, but for some reason it has sort of a rock and roll sort of lifestyle attached to it, you know. And it is, because, you know, that's what everybody who works in a restaurant, everybody who works in a restaurant is fucked up on something. It's either alcohol, it's pills, it's weed, it's fucking coke, it's fucking meth. I'm telling you right now, you would be absolutely stunned and amazed at the type of people that are making the food that you just gobble up. Gobble up. You to be shocked at the quality of people who are making your food for you. Most people are completely unaware. Drunks and druggies is what fills up about every fucking restaurant kitchen. And you want to know why? Part of it is because restaurants do not drug test. Because they know they can't. They know that they cannot drug test, because if they drug test, they would have nobody fucking working for them. Because it is very much like a life or death situation. I mean, restaurant work is considered by restaurant people like goddamn as important as fucking emergency room workers. It is such a high stress, such a high stress fucking job for no reason. And then because the industry has, decides that everything has to be out in fucking 11 minutes. Like, so everything is live or fucking die during the 2 or 3 hour fucking dinner rush. One little mistake derails the whole goddamn kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a high stress fucking job, and you're not gonna find high stress jobs that don't have a lot of fucking people on a lot of fucking substances to just to fucking handle the stress of it, So when I was in my younger days, literally like every night the entire restaurant, staff would be at somebody else's house, everybody just getting absolutely shit-faced or fucked up on something all the time. So there is, I've said it before, if you've ever seen the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds, if you've ever seen that movie, that is 1,000% what it's like. That there is no exaggeration in that fucking movie. That is 1,000% what it is like working in a professional fucking restaurant. It is 1,000% what it's like. You guys really do this kind of... Yes. That movie might as well be a fucking documentary. It is that close to what it is like. Fuck with your food? Yes. Yes, we do. Yes. If you are an asshole, yes. And you will never know it. I had a roommate in one of the places that I worked at many moons ago who absolutely despised cops. And in my 20s, I was kind of in the same way. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a pot smoker, so me and cops didn't necessarily always get along because of that. So we were all kind of anti-cops because we were all potheads, and we ate acid, and mushrooms, and all kinds of sort of shit. Some of us, did coke, like I said before. Cooks often run afoul of the police, so whenever we would have a cop come in, it was kind of like in Super Troopers. A server would say, "Hey, there's a cop at this table for this order." And we'd be like, "Okay." And my roommate, whatever they were ordering would, if it was a steak, whatever it was, it would hit the floor first before he ever started cooking it. He would fucking stomp the shit out of it with his boot, and then throw it on the grill and cook it and send it out to him. And every time they'd be like, "This is the greatest. This was the greatest steak I've ever put in my mouth," was what they would say. And we would do unspeakable things to their food. I feel kind of bad about it now, but even still, you know, that's just sort of the way it is. When you trust somebody else to make your food, you don't know what you're gonna get. You know, if you want to make sure that your food is not made, you know, is not hit a floor before you eat it, the best way to make sure of that is to cook your lazy ass at your own house. You know what I'm saying? Cook your own food at your own fucking house, and then it will be exactly the way you want it. It'll be as clean, it'll be as sanitary, it'll be exactly the way you want it. But if you're going out to somewhere else and you're saying, hey, you guys back here, cook this shit for me, then you're gonna get what you get. You know, I'm a good cook. I make good food, but again, I see the quality of the type of people who work in restaurants along with me, and it's like, I wouldn't eat food that they made. I wouldn't eat it, but you know, hey. Ah, good morning, Jedi. Jedi says 8 asses, or did I hear that wrong? 8 acid. The drug LSD. I think it's what I said. Yeah, we used to do that all the time. That was pretty regular occurrence in my 20s. To eat, we would eat acid and then work a full fucking shift, tripping fucking balls, tripping balls, and cooking people's food. My roommate, the one who sold, who was a pot dealer. I mean, every one of us in our, you know, cause the way a kitchen is lined up, you know, you have the line where you're actually preparing the food, and you have your big long cutting boards and stuff, and then underneath you have these things that we call low boys, which are like miniature half refrigerators where you keep a lot of the product. And every one of us would have our own pot packed, ready to go. And we would just, you know, every once in a while when we were getting something out of it, we'd lean down, we'd take a hit off the bowl, and then we'd go back to cooking. And then my roommate would always have a joint sitting on the grill, just sitting there ready to go, so you could just walk over to it, hit the joint a couple times, and fucking go back to cooking. We would be tripping balls, we would do all sorts of shit. And at this particular location, we would get complaints occasionally, or sometimes the staff, other, you know, like servers and shit, would complain that we were, you know, they're back there smoking weed, and the managers would say, we don't give a fuck what they're doing. They pump out the food, they get it done, we don't care what they do. Leave them the fuck alone. We're like, yep, that's the attitude to have. Leave us the fuck alone, and we will make your food for you. We had such a fucking awesome setup at this particular store, because we had also brought in like a stereo. They had like four speakers, and we had a 5-disc CD changer. So, you know, there was usually 5 people on the line, so we would oftentimes, everybody got to choose a CD, bring one CD in, and we would all put them in and just hit shuffle. And throughout the night, you know, we'd listen to our music. Oftentimes, our shit would be so loud that the customers would complain that they couldn't hear the dining room music coming out of the speakers, because the music coming from the kitchen was so loud. And you know, we listen, and most of us listened to some pretty abrasive heavy metal. You know, this is when like Limp Bizkit was coming out, shit like that. So we'd be cranking Korn and fucking Limp Bizkit, shit like that. It was kind of fun. Yeah, we owned that fucking kitchen. And part of it that helped as well is that at all these restaurants for most of my younger days, I worked with my roommates. So it was my roommates and friends. So that was partly why we were able to run the kitchen, because if you fucked with one of us, there was a good chance that we would all just walk out. You know, if you came down on one of us and made one of us quit or fired one of us, the chances were extraordinary that the rest of us would be like, peace out, we'll see you, and we'd just go to the next fucking restaurant. And you know, I lived with 3 other dudes, and we did that more than once while I lived with them. We switched restaurants because one of us got fired or one of us ended up quitting. We would just, that's what we would do. We'd just be like, okay, we're going to go over here now. Go fuck yourself. It was a fun time. I can't deny that, but you know, if you're a fairly young person, don't go into the restaurant field. Don't do it, because it requires so much work. It is such a dirty, messy, sweaty, fucking just laborious fucking job. You're hot all the fucking time. You're fucking constantly rushed. Like I said, everything is so high speed and so fucking high tensed and high stressed that you fucking you go off on each other all the fucking time. There's constant fucking fights in the middle of the rush. And then after the rush, everybody's fine. But during the rush, everybody hates each other. Everybody fucking hates each other. It doesn't matter how close you are with that person during the middle of the rush. You fucking hate that person that's working on the station next to you. Every time they say, hey, I need this side item. Hey, do you have this side item? Hey, do you have this? Hey, is that order of chicken tenders up? Hey, you got those fries? You're just like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. And then when it's all over, you're talking about going and getting fucked up after work together, you know. But during the dinner rush, everybody in the world is your fucking enemy. Everybody in the world is causing your pain. It's such a weird profession. It really fucking is. It takes a certain kind of personality to do it well. And there's not a whole lot of people that have that mentality anymore, because it is very much, there's no time for crying. There's no time for feelings. There's no time for emotion. You better shut the fuck up. You better get your shit done and do it now. That's the whole mentality. It is a very toxic, masculine environment. Cooking. Professionally cooking. As I said the other day, speaking of which, the fucking girl that fucking walked out on us the other night, they let her come fucking back the next night. I fucking hate that shit. I fucking hate that shit. If you can't fucking hang, and you fucking, and oh my god, and you run to the goddamn managers to complain, fuck you. Fuck you. And then you're gonna walk out in the middle of fucking shift and come back the next night like nothing fucking happened. Fuck you. Fuck you. But yeah, I said the other day that, you know, the morning after she had walked out on us, that I've worked with quite a few women in many different restaurants throughout my career, and they all suck. Every fucking one of them sucks in a professional kitchen. They cannot fucking do it. They cannot handle the heat. They cannot handle the pace. They can't. And I don't give a shit. You show me any fucking woman you want to show me, and I'll be like, yeah, I guarantee you I'll watch her break. I'll watch her fucking break. And they all do. You have to be you have to just fucking turn it off. You have to turn those emotions off. When somebody's yelling at you because you're taking too long getting something done, you have to turn that you better turn that shit the fuck off and just fucking get it done. And women can't do that. Women cannot do that. Again, I know this. I've been cooking in restaurants for 25 fucking years. I have worked with all manner of women in all manner of restaurants. And I'm telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, women suck in professional fucking kitchens. They can serve. No, I know. Jedi says, nah, chick's not built for that kind of pressure. They're not. They're not built for that kind of pressure. They're not built to stand that kind of heat. They're just not. You know, it's just a simple fact of the way we're built and designed. Women cannot handle it. I've seen so many of them been like, no, this one's pretty good, and it's like, oh really? Okay, we'll see. And within an hour into the rush, they're fucking breaking down. It's just the truth. You can call me sexist, you can call me misogynist, all you fucking want. I have 25 years of evidence that supports what I'm saying. I've never met a single one in my entire history that I ever would have said, yeah, I would definitely put her at the top, one of the top ones in this kitchen. Never. It's never happened. I've seen lots of managers talk about women, and you know, women who were at the restaurant, you know, maybe for longer than I had, you know, when I first started, being like, yeah, she's really good. And within like a couple days, I'm looking at them and going, no, she's not. If this is what you consider good, you are gonna fucking love me. And which every manager I've ever worked for, it does end up loving me. Because I'm consistent, I'm reliable, and those are the two most important things. I'm clean. Like, I am fucking, like, in my personal life at my house, I'm a slob. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna try to deny that. I'm a fucking slob. It's that simple. I am willing to put up with a lot more messiness than a lot of people are. But when it comes to something that I'm paid to do, my job, and my getting out of there is reliant upon how clean I can keep my station so I don't have to fucking clean it at the end. I keep my fucking stations immaculate. Everything is where it's supposed to be. People come over and they move stuff around and I about lose my mind. I'm like, that's not where my fucking seasoning shaker goes. It goes over here. Don't come to my fucking station and put shit where you fucking think it goes. Put it back where you fucking got it. That's the kind of guy I am. It's like, stay off of my goddamn station unless I ask you to come help me. If I don't ask you to come help me, stay the fuck off my station. That pisses a lot of people off because they're like, I'm just trying to help. I didn't ask for your goddamn help. I didn't ask for your help. And I'm one of those people also who believes that if I didn't ask for your help, I don't have to be thankful for your help. You know what I'm saying? If you just decide all of a sudden I'm going to come over and help you do something, and I did not ask you specifically to come do that, I don't have to say thank you because I didn't ask for it. And if I say go the fuck away, that's because I didn't ask you to help me. If you had said, hey, do you need help? I would have been like, no, I don't. Get the fuck out of my face. Go away. But you chose to just walk over here and start doing stuff. And you fucked something up. And now I'm furious. Like, I've always been very consistent when it comes to closing. Like, I will be done before everybody else. No matter what station you put me on, I will be done before anybody else will be done. I mean, it's a guarantee. I will be done with everything that I have to do before most of the time anybody else is halfway done with their shit. Because I'm goal-oriented and focused on going the fuck home. And if you tell me these are the things that you have to do to be allowed to go home, I'm gonna get that shit done quick. Because when I leave my house to go to work, to go to a friend's house, to go grocery shopping, when I leave my house, my first thought is, how quick can I get back here? How quick can I get back home and put on my lounge clothes and sit back and smoke my cigarettes and watch my TV and maybe get a little high? How quick can I get back to that I would prefer to be doing? Jedi says, cooking I'm always around, but the cleanup part, I'm out. Well, that's why it's so important. That's one of the things that they don't really teach new people in restaurants anymore. And when I started out, it was like super fucking important. Like, you stress this to people. Clean as you go. Clean as you go. Don't just fucking leave a mess and then put it to the side and, oh, I'll deal with that later. No. As the mess develops, clean it. Fix it. If you've got 2 seconds, wipe something fucking down. And they don't teach people that anymore. So you've got these people that just let for like 8 hours this just massive fucking mess build up on their fucking stations. So when it comes time to start closing so you can go home, they've created twice the work for themselves, because then they have to take care of all this shit that they just thought they were too busy to deal with. And clean as you go. And it makes it so much fucking simpler. Yeah, when I started cooking in restaurants, dude, it was a totally different environment. Oh yeah, Jedi says I always see fights over cleaning. Yeah, that happens often. Because if you've got somebody who is perpetually, who is like me, for instance, and is usually done closing like 15 minutes after the restaurant actually closes, because I get it started when you're supposed to, and I do stuff while I'm cooking. And then it makes my job a little bit harder, but at the end of the day, I'm done 30 minutes to 40 minutes before anybody else is. So, it to me, it's like, I'm going to do this that makes it a little more difficult for that last 2 hours of business, but I'm going to be ready to go before anybody else is, So you get these people who just fucking slack ass and piddle fart around, and because they expect you to come help them finish their shit every single solitary goddamn night. And that's what they're doing. And that's why they're taking so long to do their shit, because they know that everybody's going to come run and help them so everybody can get out of there. And it's such a pain in the fucking ass. So yeah, that's usually where the arguments come from cleaning wise. It's because why the fuck every night do we have to come help you do this shit? Why every fucking night? You've been here longer than me. Why do you not get your shit done? Why can you not fucking piece together? If I didn't fucking wander the fuck around for like 15 minutes every fucking hour, I could get all this shit done quicker. But no, I'm gonna let my fucking coworkers come over and do part of my job, because I'm a lazy bitch. Yeah, there's often fights over cleaning. It's, like I said, it's a different kind of job. It's a different kind of job. It is not for everybody. You can't just walk in off the street and be a cook. You either have it or you fucking don't. And I am amazing at being able, like, within one night of working with you, I can guarantee you that I can tell whether or not you are going to be an effective member of the kitchen. Within one night, that's all it fucking takes for me. There's been so many fucking times, particularly at that Hooters that I mentioned that I worked at for 5 years, where they would hire somebody in, and at the end of the night, the manager would come over to me and say, "So how did he do, or how did she do?" And I'd be like, "You might as well get rid of them. You might as well get rid of them now, because they are not going to work out." And they'll be like, "Well, you got to give them a chance to get trained. You got to give them a chance to get through the probation period." And I'm being like, "It's a waste of time. It's a waste of fucking time." That what you're seeing them do right now is the peak of their performance. I guarantee you. And I cannot tell you how many times I have had managers after a week of me saying that on the first night, they walk over to me and be like, "They're fair game. Get rid of them." And I'm like, "Okay, they'll be gone in 2 days." and then I would just focus on them and just make their lives absolutely fucking hell until they decided to fucking quit. I am ruthless when it comes to that. If I can tell, if on that first night that I'm working with you, I see like, okay, you're going to be a problem, I'm going to have to get rid of you, then I will ride your goddamn ass so fucking hard, it'll bring tears to your fucking eyes, because I want you to understand you need to get the fuck out of here. They're not going to fire you. I'm trying to get through to your head that this is not the job for you. This is not where you need to be. So I was like the attack dog, particularly at that Hooters, because and especially because that at that particular Hooters, for the majority of the years that I worked there, for about half the years I worked there, actually, the manager was somebody that was at the other Hooters that I had worked at for 2 years. He was one of the line cooks. He was one of the shift leaders. So he knew what I was capable of, and he trusted me, and knew that, if he knew that he could come to me when he said this guy's fair game, that I would have him gone. I had a reputation. But it's funny because that guy, when I first met him at the first Hooters that I worked at, when the manager introduced me to him, his first words were to me were, "I don't need to know his name." What was it? "You don't have a name until you've been here past probation." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Oh, okay." And that's the attitude that you have to take with them. You have to take with new people. I'm not going to bother to learn your name until I know that you're going to be worth a shit. And I'm that way to this day. That girl that I talked about, I don't have a fucking clue what her name is. I don't have a goddamn clue, because I know she's not going to be there long enough for me to give a shit. There's no reason in me wasting the space inside my brain to learn your name when I know you're going to be gone at the drop of a fucking hat. There's just no reason. Oh shit! That's odd. I didn't. It's funny how all this talk about the restaurant that I worked at just from talking about being too drunk to play Fortnite last night. that's how the rants go. So I guess we can circle back to, yep, it's really good wine. Really good wine, Sweet Justice. But we got that, yeah, we'll go back to that. So we got that shit in, that Sweet Justice. And I was like, oh my God, she hated it. The manager of that little wine bar absolutely despised it. Because it tastes like a Coca-Cola product, like Coca-Cola made wine. It's sweet, it's bubbly, it's fruity, it's so good. And she absolutely hated it. And I was like, I could drink this shit all day. I was like, this is my idea of wine. Because, you know, when you think about wine, it's made of grapes, right? And you've eaten grapes before. You know what a grape tastes like. They're sweet. They're fruity. And yet, you drink a glass of wine, and there is no sweetness to it. It is just so fucking dry and nasty and bitter. And it's like, how does it go from being a sweet fruit to tasting like ass? How does that work? You know, you assume that if you make something with apples, it's going to taste like apples. You assume that if you make something with grapes, it's going to taste like grape, and it doesn't. Like as a kid, anytime I saw anybody drinking wine, I was like, man, that must be so good. And then you grow up and you actually have wine, and you're like, what the fuck? This is what people have been drinking for most of humanity? How? You know, it always looks so rich and so thick and so, you know, just, and you're like, oh my God, that must just be so amazing the way people drink it and they savor it. And then you're just like, it all tastes the same. It all tastes bad. Like, I would rather drink beer than drink wine. And that's saying something. Because I hate beer. Jedi says that was me with beer. Oh, you don't like beer? Oh, yeah. Jedi says, I always saw the old folks drinking it, and I cannot wait. Yeah. And then you try it, and it tastes like piss. Jedi says, then my grandfather told me to have some, LOL. Yeah. No, shit! I couldn't see where I was going. That is like the only drawback to Blair as a character using him. Is that when you're doing the fire shit, you can't see where the fuck the floor is. You're just hoping to God that you don't fall off an edge. Shit, I was like, kidding me? Y'all drink this? LOL. Oh yeah. That's when you learn as you grow up that people aren't drinking it for the taste, they're drinking it for the effect. You're like, oh, okay. This isn't supposed to taste good because that's not the point. You're just wanting to get trashed. That's like those people who drink non-alcoholic beer. It's like, why are you doing that? Why? You really like the taste of this shit? Yeah, Jedi says that's why I never used him blinding. Yeah, that's like the only drawback to the character. Is that it's sometimes hard to see where you're at and what you're doing. If you're in an area like this where there's goddamn holes everywhere, it's very tricky. You know, if you're on a flat place like somewhere in the desert or something, you ain't got to sweat it, man. You'll fuck everything up. But yeah, if you're on a place like this, you're like, oh my god, where's the edge? Where is that motherfucker? There. Jesus Christ. Yep, you. Hell yeah. 3 completed on him. Sweet. How are you looking? You're 42. Let's do it. Let's do it. And you're 40 as well? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. What am I running for? Slow down, Blair. Slow down. Nothing? Okay. What do we got left? Combine modules. Let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Check out the research.
Magisters are probably humanity's real hope, don't you think?
Alright. We need one more of these bitches. One more of the Hive Master, and that'll be done. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, these are the 4 weapons that I need right now to finish the unique abilities. 4 more. Jedi says, add me in. Yeah, I can do that. I'm gonna run real quick to the bathroom, and I think I'm gonna make another cup of coffee. So give me just a minute, and I'll be back, and I'll add you. Be right back, guys. Got the bathroom part out of the way now. I can go make my coffee, and you guys can come along with me. What's up, kids? Kitty cats. But yeah, that's why I've said that I ended up identifying with Blair, and it's in large part due to the cooking thing, to being a cook. I understand being a cook, and I understand that it makes you just want to set the world on. Do. Ba-ba-da-da. Oh my God, excuse me, that one snuck up on me. That wine is pretty expensive too. It was like I think it was like $120, $150. I think it might have been $150 for like 6 bottles. I mean, it's not like, I guess not overly expensive. I mean, I guess, a little over $20 a bottle. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna have to see if I can get some without being, attached to a restaurant that sells it. All right, my coffee is working. So I need a few minutes, and I'll go get that. Oh, okay. I am back. Grumpy geezer. That's sometimes how I feel when I'm ranting and raving. Jedi says, that was fast. All right. Oh, wow. You okay? I just happened to look over at my laptop, just, because I keep track of the chat on it. And y'all can't see when I pull up this little keyboard. Huh. For the player search. I didn't realize that. That's interesting. Okay. Interesting. All right. What's left to do? The void vessel, and then we just got onslaughts and stuff. The weekly stuff. I should have checked this real quick. I'm gonna check this real quick. I know y'all can't see this either, but I'm gonna see. I'm keeping track of it on the daily, how the contest is going, because I'm intrigued if the ones that I voted for retain the top spots. Yep, they're still in the same places. Looks like, yeah. Oh, I think there's been some movement. Some of the lower ones have shifted a little bit. The top male outfit has moved down one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Because there's little arrows next to them that shows how many spots they dropped or how many spots they've gained. So there's action going on. But the top 12 have not changed places at all. All of them are still in the exact same places. So it's looking like, unless there's a major upheaval in the voting, it's looking like we're going to get some pasties. Looking like it. All right. Let's switch back to Viessa. Yeah, we'll go with this outfit. We'll go with this one. All right. Good morning, Jamil. Good to see you again. He says, yo, what's up? Same old, same old. Same old, same old. Hope everything's all right with you. Jedi said, I didn't even know you can check that out. The voting? Is that what you were talking about, Jedi? Yeah, if you just go to the web page, if you just go to that, if you go to the web, it shows you one of the things that you can click on is to check the current tally, and it'll take you right to it. Take you right to it. Somebody rocking the Bayonetta outfit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Which, by the way, Bayonetta I have a playthrough, a full playthrough on my channel, in case you're interested in that game. It's a fun game. It's very fast paced. It's incredibly fast paced, but it's a very fun game. Jedi says, yeah, the voting. Yeah, you can just, yep. You can go check it out. If things continue as they're going, I'm gonna be a happy guy. I would prefer the second place one be a different one. I'm not crazy about the one that they've got in second place, but you know. Jamel says, try Bastion yesterday. Die, it's brutal. Which one is that? Oh wait, I needed to combine my modules, right? Let me do that real quick. Isn't that what we're doing? Yep, combine some modules.
Welcome. You're here for modules, right?
Yep. Jamel says, hey, what were you streaming last night? Fridays is when I do Fall Guys Fortnite. It's Fall Guys Fortnite Friday. So I did Fall Guys. Didn't make it to the Fortnite because I had a little too much wine with dinner with the family. And I got home and I made it through Fall Guys, and then I realized, I don't think I'm going to make it through Fortnite. And I did not. But yeah, I've been for like a month and a half. Fall Guys Fortnite Friday has been kind of iffy, largely because I was doing the movie reviews and whatnot. How the fuck did you get up there? So it's not surprising. You're not fully aware of it, but yeah, on Fridays. The Bastion of Immortality. Yeah, it's a little hard. It's a little hard. For sure. I think my coffee might be done, so let me run and go take care of that real quick. And then we'll come back. I mean, the only thing I have left to do for the dailies is the Void Vessel. So I guess we can do some onslaughts if you want, Jedi. We can do some shit Axion if you want. If you wanna, Jamel, you're more than welcome. If you want, I can send you an invite and we can like carry you through some of the harder stuff if you'd like. So you can like get some rewards and stuff. We can get you through, a few bastions if you'd like or whatever. That's totally cool. Totally cool with that. Coffee. Coffee. Jedi says, "You know me, I'm always down." Ah, I see. Jamel says, "Not playing. Wifey time, hanging out." All right. But the invitation is open, man. Anytime you see me on, if you want, don't worry, don't hesitate to ask. Be like, "Hey, can you help me out with this?" I'll be like, "Yeah, sure, dude." Because God knows the cat has carried me through many a mission. All right, we're gonna go. You're welcome, dude. Jamel says, "Thanks." We're gonna do some onslaughts. Fuck it. I don't think me and you need help with level 1. I think we'll be okay for level 1. Oh, that doesn't look bad. Your color combinations for. I see a few people out there watching. Maybe, perhaps, you could see your way clear if you're enjoying your time here. Or my,
Descendant,
recalling my early days as a cook.
Unstable. Protect the objective from all threats.
Or maybe just watching the scantily clad chicks shoot stuff. Perhaps you can see your way clear to leave me a like, a comment, a share, or subscribe. Jamel says, "Yeah, people sub." We got another one sometime last night. I'm up to 451 now, so I have broken through the 50 to now needing 49.
Point stabilization operation.
Only 49.
Enemy infiltration at all costs.
To make it 500. We are so close. So close. Anything that y'all could do to help us out in that regard would be very much appreciated. Very much. Fucking bullets. What? Why did you put your gun up?
Additional enemy forces detected. Engage combat readiness.
Ah! Fuck you!
Target eliminated.
What the fuck?
Can't hold on much longer.
Zone stabilization confirmed. Descendant! Unstable energy source detected. Transmitting target coordinates to your AC. Descendant, the enemy offensive is weakening. Time to utilize your tactical options.
I guess we'll do that one. That's not really good options there. Oh yeah, I can re-roll those. I keep forgetting that.
Enemy reinforcements detected, Descendant. Hold the line.
Fuck yeah.
Incredible, Descendant. Capturing mission data.
Jamel says, "Hi people. If you guys want to play later, add me and we can play." And then he says, Jamel says, "You need a Daya on your team." Yeah, she's pretty helpful in most circumstances. She's kind of OP. In all honesty. In all honesty. She's pretty badass. Oh, I forgot to check. Damn it! Forgot to check my damage. Fuck. Oh well.
Descendant, the energy concentration point is unstable. Protect the objective from all threats.
I'm going with the HP. Going with the HP.
Initiating energy concentration point stabilization operation. Prevent enemy infiltration at all costs. Descendant, you need to interact with the target device. Approach and engage with it within the time limit. Destruction target confirmed ahead. Descendant, destroy the structure completely within the time limit.
you, dude. Fuck you.
Descendant, the acceptable energy threshold range has been exhausted. Be careful. Zone stabilization confirmed. Descendant! Unstable energy source detected. Transmitting target coordinates to your AC. Descendant, the enemy offensive is weakening. Time to utilize your tactical options. Enemy reinforcements detected, Descendant. Hold the line. Destruction target confirmed ahead. Descendant, destroy the structure completely within the time limit. Prepare for combat. Specialized anti-personnel combat entity detected. It has you in its sights, Descendant. Be careful. Key target located. Neutralize it within the time limit quietly to avoid alerting enemies.
Some bullets.
Transmitting target coordinates to your receive. Descendant, the enemy offensive is weakening. Time to utilize your tactical options. Enemy reinforcements detected, Descendant. Hold the line. Establish and execute optimal defense strategy based on available data. Specialized anti-personnel combat entity detected. It has you in sight, Descendant. Be careful.
Where is it?
Destruction target confirmed ahead. Descendant, destroy the structure completely within the time limit.
Hell yeah. Let's see what my damage was. 15.5 billion. Not bad. Not bad. 40 billion. Jesus Christ, Jedi. 40 billion. God damn. That's a lot. I didn't know Sharon was capable of that. Jesus Christ. And we'll just jump in for stage 3. So much defenders. Peek it. Yeah, you went well beyond 8 billion. He says I was expecting 8 billion. Yeah, you went way beyond 8 billion. I like what they did with their ENES. That's pretty hot ENES. Ah, I see. It's my electric bill, he says.
Descendant, the energy concentration point is unstable. Protect the objective from all threats.
Damn it. I guess we'll do that one.
Initiating energy concentration point stabilization operation. Prevent enemy infiltration at all costs. Descendant, you need to interact with the target device. Approach and engage with it within the time limit.
Fuck you, dude. This goddamn help. There's some help. God, fuck you. Goddamn blue balls.
detected. Transmitting target coordinates to your receive. Descendant, the enemy offensive is weakening. Time to utilize your tactical options. Enemy reinforcements detected, Descendant. Hold the line. Destruction target confirmed ahead. Descendant, destroy the structure completely within the time limit. Descendant! Unstable energy source detected. Transmitting target coordinates to your receive. Descendant, the enemy offensive is weakening. Time to utilize your tactical options.
I may have underestimated.
Enemy reinforcements detected, Descendant. Hold the line. Key target located. Neutralize it within the time limit quietly to avoid alerting the enemy. Establish and execute optimal defense strategy based on available data. Descendant, you need to interact with the target device. Approach and engage with it within the time limit.
Only 2.8 billion that time. I did much better in the last one. Much better. But that's all right. Yeah, I know, dude. Jedi says 15 billion now. That Harris took everything. Yeah. Is that who it was? The Harris? I knew it was one of them. I knew it was one of them. Still, we did okay. Jedi says you had to screenshot that 40 billion. Yeah, I don't blame you on that one, man. That's one definitely to remember. Back to Albion. Man, we've missed all the wall crashers today. For fuck's sake. I haven't done a single wall crasher today. I feel bad. Thank God Harris isn't here. He'd be giving me hell. Nothing good there. All right. Well, he's Jedi's dancing. 36, 38. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. All right. Hang on just a second. Just a second. Oh, shit. Trying to do something and my damn headphones fell off my head. Okay. Yeah, that says, yeah, Harris is the strongest. Definitely in that little endeavor she was. For sure. Every time I turned around to try to shoot down a ship, she already had it blown up. Okay. What are we going to do now? What do we do now? We could do a couple bastions of immortality. You feel like doing that? Jeddah. Let's go. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Fuck you.
It's an emergency. I can't hold on much longer.
course, I'm right under this stupid thing.
That's left.
No sweat. Almost 3 billion. Almost 3 billion. Not bad. Not bad. What'd you get? 5.4? That's not bad. Not bad. I think we were pretty close. Much different than the 40 billion you did a few minutes ago. Jesus Christ, 40 billion with Sharon. That's got to be like a record, man. that's got to be like an all-time record. 40 fucking billion with Sharon. Crazy numbers. All right, let's try that one. Really? Jenna says, no, I saw somebody did 60. Jesus Christ. With Sharon. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that build with no help. Oh, is that how they did it? Blast cannon. Oh, wrong way. God damn it. Son of a bitch.
Now.
That was a suck-ass place for him to fucking kill me. I'm on the way. I'm on the way. God damn, dude.
I can't hold it much longer.
This guy's being a bitch this time. Fuck you, dude. Alright, he wants to play hardball. Let's play fucking hardball. Fuck you. $2.4 billion. Pretty much the same as last time. Not much different, really. $5 billion. Yeah, you were pretty much the same, too. Pretty much the same, too. Lost your .4 this time. Alright, it's almost wall crasher time. So let's head on back to Albion. Almost wall crasher time again. So this will be the actually the first one that we do today. Ooh, blue and black looks pretty good. Little splash of purple in there to break it up. I like that. I really like that. That Sharon with the gold and silver. That's pretty badass. Yeah, that's pretty badass. Pretty badass. Like it. And there it is. The alarm has been sounded. Oh, come on, reset the dice, please. Reset the dice. I got nothing to do with all that shit. How are we looking? Oh, we're at 40. We're at 40. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 2 more slots. And the whirlwind is max cat. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I'm pleased with that. Please. Oh, that was you, Jedi. Jesus Christ, that was your Sharon. I didn't even realize that was you, dude. Durr. Jedi says, this eraser gun with veil, so good. I hear you. I totally didn't realize. Yeah, I like what you did with your Sharon in that outfit. That's pretty badass. That gold and silver works. Works quite well. Jedi says, we designers, LOL. Indeed. Indeed.
This way.
Where? What are you wanting to do? What?
Lost if you're not quick enough. Fantastic! I knew I could count on you.
3 minutes. Three minutes. Ooh. One minute, 41 seconds. Oh, that's sad. Somebody in the world chat said, "Someone invite me. I don't want to play alone." That's sad. Poor guy. We're interviewing my dog. So why do you think you need a raise? Or now he's like, no, I want to join you guys over here. We'll be on your side. Of course. Loading up the photo mode cancels out my fucking emote. That's dumb. That's dumb. Here we go. That was quick. That was pretty quick. I don't think there's anything in the mail. It's probably just going to be lost and found stuff or failed delivery. I bet. Yeah. Oh no. We got 10 more things that I don't have anything to spend it on. I could spend it on money, but it's like I don't fucking need gold. I don't need money. So they're just there. All right. Looking up here. All right. Okay. And I reckon we're going to call it a stream here. Everybody. Thank you guys for being here today. I greatly appreciate it. I might be back in just a little bit to do Fortnite, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Let me just say that. It's possible. But don't like playing on it like your life depends on it. I may do it. I do want to make up for it, but I'm not sure if I'll do it now or if I'll do it later this evening. Probably later this evening, I would imagine. It'd probably be a better time to do it. But thank you, yes, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you guys so much. Jedi, sir, always a pleasure. Are you streaming after this, Jedi? I will point anybody in the chat towards Jedi's channel. Go add him. He's a pretty cool dude. He does his own streams of the First Descendant and a few other games, so go check him out. We would appreciate it, both of us. Jamel, thank you for being here as well, sir. Again, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I hope you two gentlemen have a wonderful day. Thank you to all the lurkers. And I know there were some of you out there. I saw the numbers going up and down. Thank you guys for being here. We feel your support through your silence. We would like you to, to say hey every once in a while, but you do you. You do you. It's all good. And for those of you who may be watching this as a video later, thank you for making it this far into the video. We appreciate you guys as well. If you should choose to, and this is totally optional, totally up to you, you will find links on my YouTube description page to my Patreon and my Ko-fi. If you saw something here that you think might be worth $1 or $2, that would be the place to drop it. And it too would be greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. While you're at all that, check out the rest of the shit on my channel. I have over 1,500 videos, quickly approaching 1,600 videos. All sorts of content to entertain your eyeballs. You just wouldn't believe it. You just wouldn't believe it. I've got concerts up into. were shot on a really good quality phone. So the audios and the visuals are top notch. And I was pretty close on a couple of those shows. So if you're into that handful of bands that I have so far posted, you should really check them out. They were really good shows. Also, I have original music that I write the lyrics to, and I stress that 100% I write the lyrics to. And then I give life to those songs through an AI app in the form of a 4-piece all-girl metal band called The Circle. You will find 10 albums on my channel right now of some music that I am very proud of. I mean, I really am very proud of it for what I've been able to create. I used one of the top 2 music maker apps, so you don't get that fuzziness that you often hear in AI music. And if if you've heard some AI songs, you know what I'm talking about when I say fuzziness. I got 10 albums on my channel currently. More is coming. I got to figure out a new app. There's been some lawsuits and some shit happening, so I'm kind of waiting till it all kind of settles out to figure out where I need to go next to start making my shit. But yes, 10 albums, about 12 songs a piece, about 30 minutes a piece. Not a huge investment in your time to check one out, and you never know. You may really dig it. It's possible. You never know. And you can also find the lovely ladies of The Circle every Wednesday night on Wicked Wednesday Night. That is the female division of my original character simulated wrestling federation. The men's division is every Monday for Monday Night Mania. And then I also have a female celebrity federation that's every Tuesday, and that's Tuesday Night Download. I've got a Marvel vs. DC coming soon, and upgrades for the men's division and the female celebrity federation coming towards the end of the year. Probably a little after it, knowing how I operate. On top of all that, I do these daily live streams like you saw right here today, where I play this wonderful game that we all love so very much, the First Descendant. Sometimes chat joins in like you see today, and we take on some of the harder missions, or we just go farming for materials. Sometimes chat's here to give me advice on how to build my characters, and sometimes they're here to give me shit for the ways that I choose to do that. But regardless, a fun time is had by all, and we would absolutely love for you to be a part of that as well. We've got a really cool community, a gentleman who show up pretty regularly for this live stream. We're pretty open, pretty welcoming group, and we just want to hang out, talk about the things that we enjoy in a game that we love to play. And is that so wrong? I don't think it is. I don't think it's wrong at all. I think we're okay. Also, every Friday between 8 and 11 p.m., I have Fall Guys Fortnite Friday, where I play Fall Guys and Fortnite, and I swear to God, eventually I'm going to get back into the, it's all going to get back to normal eventually. I apologize for the unpredictability of Fall Guys Fortnite Friday over the last month and a half, but there have been elements that have been, interfering with it. And much like with this game, I'm totally open to playing with chat, but only if you want to duo, trio, or squad up against the general audience. I just don't have the participation at that time slot to justify doing custom matches, and one-on-ones are boring, so it is what it is. On top of all that, I've got a shitload of playthroughs. I got all kinds of playthroughs, all kinds of genres. I've got horror, action, adventure, racing, roguelite, walking simulators, gacha games. I'm down to play just about anything. And I have a massive library of well over 300 games that I have played very little of. So, if there is something out there that you, dear listener, dear viewer, would like to see me play, throw it in the fucking comments. I will check my library. If it is in the library, bam, it gets bumped up to the top of the list to be rotated in next after I finish the next game. It is that easy to have impact and influence on the content produced by this channel. All you gotta do is say, hey, I'd like to see you play this, and I'll be like, well, you know what? I happen to have it. So I'll play it. That easy. It's just that easy. And on top of that, as if that wasn't enough, I also do movie reviews now. You'll find four. I think there's four up on my channel right now. You'll see they're in different formats. That's because I was playing around. It's still in the early stages, and I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to present it. But I think I've locked on to what my style is going to be now. So you'll see more consistency coming from those as they show up. So check those out too. And I guess, ladies and gentlemen, cats and kittens, boys and girls, that just leaves me to say, thank you once again. You guys are the bomb. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your support of this channel and my endeavors and my attempts to make this, this little corner of YouTube into something. You guys are pivotal in that regard. I can't do it without you, and I thank you so very, very much. And until next time, later.